Hello everyone, I'm Professor S.R. Patil, Department of Information Science and Engineering, BLDCT, Vijaypura. So I would like to welcome you all this data analytics concept. In today's lecture, I'm going to teach you data visualization in data analytics. So first we'll see what do you mean by data visualization. So data visualization is the art and science of making data easy to understand and consume for the end user. So data visualization, what is this? It is an art and science which make the data easy to understand and consume for the end user. So what is the ideal visualization shows that the right amount of data in the right order in the right visual form to convey the high priority information. So this is a brief introduction about data visualization, and I would like to mention one more thing about data visualization, that is data visualization is the last step in the data life cycle. So you have gone through what are the data mining process, okay, so what are the first steps and all. So this is a last step. Last step means finally we are going to present the data. So how we can present the data, that we can see in detail in this lecture. So this is where the data is processed for presentation in an easy to consume manner to the right audience for the right purpose. So here in today's lecture, we'll see what are the agenda of the data visualization. So we can see what are the principle of good visualization, what are the types of chart. Chart is required for presenting the data in the pictorial form. Visualization examples, we can take one example and I'll explain how it works. Tips for effective visualization. There are some of the tips are there. So we'll see all this topic in the today's lecture. So move on to the first one. So we'll see the principles of excellence in visualization. So what are the principles which is required for the good visualization? The first principle, that is show even reveal the data. So what does it mean? Show even reveal the data means the data should tell a story, especially a story hidden in a large masses of data. However, reveal the data in context so the story is correctly told. So that is a first principle. Then second principle. The second principle is induce viewer to think of the substance of data. So it means that the format of the graph should be so natural to the data that it hides itself and lets the data shine. So this is the second principle. Move on to the third principle, that is avoid distorting what the data have to say. So it means that in the name of simplifying, some crucial context could be removed, leading to the distorted communication. So this is a third principle. The fourth principle, that is make large data sets coherent. It means that by giving shape to the data, visualization can help bring the data together to tell a comprehensive story. So this is how to make large data sets coherent. Then fifth principle, that is encourage eyes to compare different pieces of data. So it means that organize the charts in a ways the eyes would naturally move to the derive insights from the graphs. So the next principle, that is reveal the data at several levels of details. So here graphs lead to insights which rise further curiosity, and thus presentation help get to the root cause. So that is how we can reveal the data at several levels in detail. The next is serve a reasonably clear purpose. So reasonably clear purpose means it should be informing and decision making. So whatever the data is there, by looking at that data, so that we can easily get to know what is the information that is which is there in that particular chart, and whether it is helpful for making the decision or not. Okay. Then the last principle of data visualization is closely integrate with the statistical and verbal description of the data set. So it means that there should be no separation of charts and text in presentation. Each mode should tell a complete story. What should it should tell? It should tell a complete story. Okay. So these all are what? principle of excellence in visualization. Understood? Okay. So move on to the next major types of charts. So there are how many charts are there? Pie chart, polar, bubble sort, scatter, line, bar, area, Gantt chart, high-low, candlestick, box, Whistler, time series. So these are the major types of charts. So we can see in detail how each chart that works. So in the next slide, so we can see the major types of charts. So the first one is line graph. What line graph it says? So we have seen the how line graphs looks like in the previous diagram. So we can see how line graph that works. This is a basic and most popular type of displaying information. It shows the data as a series of points connected by a straight line segments. So this is a first one, that is line graph. Then second is scatter plot. Scatter plot, this is another very basic and useful graphic form. It helps reveal the relationship between the two variables. So we can see in detail in the next chart, that is how scatter plot will help. The next is bar graph. So how bar graph works? Bar graph shows thin, colorful rectangular bars with their lengths being proportional to the values represented. The bars can be plotted vertically or horizontally. The next one is pie charts. So how pie charts works? The pie charts these are very popular to show the distribution of variable such as sales by a region. So here the pie charts, which helps the size of the slice is representative of the relative strength of each value. Then the next one is box charts. So how it works, box charts means box charts it is a central value and range. It means that these are special forms of charts to show the distribution of variables. The next is bubble graph. So bubble graphs, this is an interesting way of displaying multiple dimensions in one chart. So it is a variant of a scatter plot with many data points marked in 2 dimensions. So that is all about bubble graph. The next is dials. So dials means what? These are charts like the speed dial in the car. Okay, that shows whether the variable value is in the low range or medium range, or it might be in a high range. Okay, we'll check all the 3 ranges. So these ranges could be colored red, yellow, and green to give an instant view of data. The next is pictographs. So the name itself will tell, that is, one can use pictures to represent the data, using representative pictures to display objects and values. So these are major charts types which we can use in the data visualization technique. So we'll see some of the example. This is an example for what? Pictograph. Okay. So how pictograph looks like here? This particular, just look at this figure. So in this figure, which shows the number of liters of water needed to produce 1 pound of each of the products, where images are used to show the product for easy reference. Just look at over here. This is water footprint is there. Okay, so you can see the droplets over here. So here each droplet of water also represents the 50 liters of water. So imagine that this is 1 droplet. Okay, 1 droplet means how many? 50 liters of water. So similarly, we'll check for example here. Okay, so two droplets are there. It is nearly about 100, right? That is 90. Okay, so similarly, we have taken each droplet of water that represents the 50 liter of water. Okay, so that is how we can represent the brief information in the pictograph. So this pictograph will just we can get to know that what is the amount of liter that is used for the each product. So barley is there, wheat is there. Okay, so gum is there, millet is there. So toast. Okay, so how much water that is consumes, okay, we can easily get to know by just looking at the pictograph. Okay, then next, okay, this is an visualization example, that is business data visualization. In the step 1, enhancing and organizing the data. So there are like step 1, 2, 3 are there. So we can see, okay, how actually the data visualization that is going to take place, okay, in each step. The first step, that is, as I told you, this is the to demonstrate how each of the visualization tools could be used. Imagine an executive of a company who wants to analyze the sales performance of his division. So here, just look at this table. This is a base data table. This particular table, which shows the important raw sales data for the current year, alphabetically sorted by a product name. Okay, so this is a alphabetically sorted in a product name, and this is a revenue, order, and salesperson. Okay, so this is the data we have in the where base table. So here, these like you just check the value of the each value, each column. So here, these are too many numbers on this table to visualize, okay, any trends in them. The numbers are in different scales. Okay, how I can say that different scales mean, just look at, okay, this is 23, this is 131, this is 9731. Okay, so it is in 1000 form, but it is in 100 form. Okay, so this this kind of data, if it is there, the numbers, if it different scale, so plotting them on the same chart would not be easy. So all are in like 1000, then it is like easy to plot the graph. So for example, revenue numbers are in the thousands. Okay, isn't it? So this is a revenue number, so it is in what, thousands. Okay, while the salesperson numbers and order per sales are in single or double digit. So this is a single or double digit. So we cannot able to plot in a one particular graph. So we should make use of the uh, different graphs, okay, different charts. Okay, so this is a base table. Okay, with the help of this base table, we have found the what is the revenue per order and revenue per sales and order per sales. Okay, so this is a simple mathematics. Okay, so this is finding the ratio. After finding the ratio, we have got just 3 more columns. Fine, understood this? Fine. Next. So just this is what, this is a second step. So we got the base table. Okay, so we got to know that there is like similar data. So that is why we need to use the different charts. So in the step 2, what we are going to do, in the step 2, product performance sorted by a revenue. So what kind of graph is it? This is what, pie chart. Okay, this is a bar chart, isn't it? So what this shows, one could start by utilizing the revenue as pie chart. So just look at over here. So this is a revenue. We are using the pie chart, and the revenue promotion drops significantly from the first order to the next, isn't it? Just look at that. So here, this is a first order. So it increasing, like it keep on decreasing. Okay, so it's significantly decreasing. The next is, it is interesting to note that the top 3 products produces almost 75% of the revenue. So just check with this product, this, and this. Okay, these 3 products. Okay, what is the performance? 3 product produces almost 75% of the revenue. By just looking at this pie chart, we can easily get to know that which one has the more revenue. Understood? Okay, the next other graph, the number of orders for each product can be plotted as a bar graph. As I told you, what is this? This is a bar graph. Okay, this shows that while the revenue is widely different for the top 4 products, they have approximately the same number of orders. So just check with the first 4 products. Okay, it's almost similar, isn't it? Okay, so that is how we can make use of the different charts to represent the data. Okay, fine. So move on to the next. So this is a business data visualization step 3. So in the step 3, we are going to find the product performance. So just look at this. Suppose the orders are chunked into 4 sizes. Like 4 sizes means what? Tiny, small, medium, and large. Suppose if you check the 4 like sizes, then how it actually looks like. So here we have, sorry, okay. So here, suppose this, just look at this figure. This shows that it is a stacked bar. Okay, there is a difference between bar chart and stacked bar graph that shows the percentage of orders by size for each product. This chart brings a different set of insights. It shows that the product HH, okay, just look at the product HH. Product HH has a larger proportion of tiny orders. What it has the tiny orders. Okay, the product at the far right have a large number of tiny orders and very few large orders. So this have a very few large orders. Okay, so this is how we can represent the data using the stacked bar graph. Understood this? Okay, so we got to know how pie chart, how bar graph, how stacked bar graph that can be used to represent the data. Okay, so next is, this is the step 4. Okay, so in the step 4, that is data visualization, salesperson performance. So just look at over here. So there are like 2 line graphs are there. Okay, the executive wants to understand the productivity of a salesperson. So this analysis could be done both in terms of the number of orders or revenue per salesperson. Okay, we required both the attributes, isn't it? So there could be 2 separate graphs. So how many are there? This is one and this is another one. One for the number of orders per salesperson. So what is this graph represent? Order per salesperson. And another for what? Revenue per salesperson. Okay, what is this? This is a revenue for salesperson. However, an interesting way is to plot both the measures on the same graph to give a more complete picture. So when we plot both the graph in one particular graph, okay, so it gives a meaning, like we can easily differentiate between these two, isn't it? So here, this an interesting way is to, as I told you, plot both measures on the same graph to give a more complete picture. This gives a more complete picture about order per salesperson and revenue per salesperson. As I told you, in this picture, 2 line graphs superimposed upon each other. One line shows the revenue per salesperson, while other shows the what? Number of order per salesperson, isn't it? It shows that the highest productivity of 5.3 order per salesperson. Just look at this particular graph. Okay, so what is the highest order per salesperson? 5.3, isn't it? Okay, what is the lowest one? Lowest one is what? 2.0 order per salesperson. The second line. So the second line, the blue line shows the revenue per salesperson. Sorry, this is red line. Revenue per salesperson for each for the product. The revenue per salesperson is highest. Highest is how much? 423, isn't it? So what is the lowest? Lowest in this is, it is just 30. Okay, understood this? So that is how we can show the data, that is order per salesperson and revenue per salesperson in one graph. Understood this? This is what salesperson performance, which can show using the charts. Okay. The next topic, that is tips for great visualization. So we have some of the tips for the great visualization. We'll see one by one. The first one is fetch appropriate and correct data for analysis. This is very important. Okay, so this requires some understanding of the domain of the client and what is important for the client, that we need to understand. Okay, then second, sort the data in the most appropriate manner. It means that it could be sorted by numerical variables or alphabetically by name. So in the previous example, so we have sorted in alphabetical manner. That is, it starts with what? AA, isn't it? Okay. Then third tip is choose appropriate method to present the data. The data could be presented as a table or as any of the graph type. It depends, as we have gone through. So in the previous example, so we have used pie chart, bar graph. Okay, it depends. Okay, based on that, we can make use of choose the appropriate method to present the data. The next is the data set could be pruned. It means that more data is not necessarily better unless it makes the most significant impact on the situation. Okay. The next, the visualization could show additional dimension for reference. So it means that such as the expectations or targets with which no compare the result to compare the results. The next step is the numerical data may need to be binned into a few categories. For example, the order per person were plotted as an actual value, while the order size were binned into four categorical choice. We have seen tiny, small, and all. Okay, so four categorical choices. The next is high level visualization could be backed by more detailed analysis. For example, the most significant results a drill down may be required. In the last step of great visualization, that is, there may be need to present additional textual information to tell the whole story. So, for example, one may require notes to explain some extraordinary results. Okay, so that is why there may be need to present additional textual information. So if we require additional textual information to tell the whole story, so we can go with the textual information to explain some extraordinary result. So these are some of the tips for great visualization. Hope you can understand these tips. Okay. Okay. Finally, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work, which is said by Thomas Edison. With this quote, I would like to conclude this lecture. So thank you so much for watching this video. I request viewers to subscribe the channel. If you like this video, please press the like button and share the video as much as possible. Thank you so much.